Hi, this is Kate from Oasis Yoga. Thank you for joining me for the practice of Metta. I will begin and end this practice with a reading from Pema Chodron's book, The Places That Scare You. What is it that allows our goodwill to expand and our prejudice and anger to decrease? This is a significant question. Traditionally, it is said that the root of aggression and suffering is ignorance. But what is it that we are ignoring? Entrenched in the tunnel vision of our own personal concerns, what we ignore is our kinship with others. One reason we train in this practice of metta is to recognize our interconnectedness, to grow in understanding that when we harm another, we are harming ourselves. So we train in recognizing our uptightness. We train in seeing that others are not so different from ourselves. We train in opening our hearts and minds in increasingly difficult situations. Please join me for the practice of metta as we train in breaking down the barriers that we put up between us and others. For this practice, you just need yourself. Find yourself in a comfortable position. Could be sitting down, lying down, or even standing up. I suggest closing the eyes, turning the attention inward, into the breath. Begin to breathe in a way that makes you pay attention. Follow the breath. From the beginning of the inhale to the pause at the top, the full, complete exhale, and noticing the space between the exhale and your inhale. Breathing in long and breathing out long. Stay with your breath. For the practice of metta, we begin with you. So please picture yourself standing in front of you. See yourself there just as you are, with the things that you like about yourself and the things that you hope to change. Just you, right in front of you. And as you see yourself there, see what it's like to extend to yourself a feeling of love and of kindness. To wish yourself well. To wish yourself peace, understanding, happiness, and the root of happiness. All of the good things in life. And as you wish yourself well, begin to notice, how does this flow from you today? What is it like when you're asked to wish yourself love and kindness? Just notice it for what it is. And practice the goodwill towards yourself. Whatever that means for you today. Seeing yourself through kind and friendly eyes. Next, I'd like you to think about somebody in your life that is very easy for you to love. This is an uncomplicated relationship. It could be a child, your child. It could be a friend, a parent, a teacher. It could even be an animal. Think about someone or some being that just lights you up inside. Now picture them standing in front of you. See them there just as they are and begin to wish them well. Wish them love, wish them kindness, a freedom from suffering, a connection to happiness and the root of happiness. Seeing this loved one through kind eyes and accepting eyes. And then notice in you. Notice how this flows from you today. Love and kindness. Next, I'd like you to think about somebody in your life that you're indifferent to, a stranger, somebody you don't know very well or even at all. Maybe you've seen them out. Maybe they deliver your mail, or a neighbor you haven't met. Think about somebody that you don't have feelings of like or dislike for. And see what it's like to begin to wish this person love and kindness. Hoping for them a connection to happiness and the root of happiness. Health. Freedom from suffering. The ability to see clearly. Liberation from the mind. The fullness and goodness of life. And watching you, how does this flow from you today? How does it feel to wish well the one that you don't even know? Notice your capacity for compassion. And remember, this is a practice. Watering the seeds of goodwill. So wish them well, wish them love and kindness. Next, I'd like you to think about somebody in your life that is not easy to love. An enemy of the mind is what the Buddhists call this one. Now, it depends how boldly you'd like to step into this practice. You can start with somebody who just annoys you. They're just irritating, simply not likable. We all have people like that in our lives. Or if you'd like to step deeply into this practice and train in loving kindness and really some difficult things in your life, maybe we picture somebody that has done us some great damage in the past. And it might be a group of people right now that we disagree with so much in such a passionate way, maybe in such a justified way, but there is hardness in our hearts around these people. However boldly you want to go today, picture someone or a group of people like that in your life and see them standing in front of you. See what it's like to wish this person love and kindness, even if it's just a little bit, even if you have to fake it. Hoping for them a connection to happiness and the root of happiness. The ability to see clearly, liberation from the mind, a freedom from suffering, even if we feel like they don't deserve it. And notice in you what happens when you're called to love the enemy, to try to break down those barriers, to find empathy, to see our connection. So wish them well, wish them love, wish them kindness. Lastly, we're going to consider all living creatures. We'll start with the people right around you. people in your house, people in your neighborhood, your family, people that are close to you, the animals that are close to you. We include all sentient beings in this one. Begin to think about those people. Begin to wish them well. Wish them love, wish them kindness, happiness, health, freedom from suffering. And then in your mind's eye, let's expand this to cover everyone on your block. Make that circle a little bit wider, include your whole village. Wherever you may be, the animals, the people, all around you, begin to wish them well. Love and kindness. Freedom from suffering. Happiness. The root of happiness. And we take that circle wider. We think about your whole country that you're in, from the leadership, from the top all the way to the bottom. Begin to wish them well, wish them love, wish them kindness. Liberation from the mind. The root of happiness. We're going to continue to open that circle wider to include all living creatures all over the world. And we know that there are places in the world right now, and this could be in your back door, where there is extreme suffering and sadness and darkness and pain. And this is the opportunity to wish in light and goodness and healing and love and kindness and understanding. It is okay to allow your heart to break for these places and for these people. To wish them love, wish them kindness, freedom from suffering. All living creatures, all over the world, in places that we've been, in places that we will never even imagine going to. We cover it all. And we notice, how does this flow from you today? Notice your capacity for compassion. Wish them well. Love and kindness. The last step in this practice is what brings it all together. So one more time, I just ask you to recall these people in your mind, starting with yourself. Picture yourself there in front of you. And next to you stands the one that is easy to love. And next to them is the stranger. Standing next to the stranger is the enemy, or the enemy of the mind. And next to them is a representation of all living creatures. See if you can go down this line and extend the same amount of loving kindness that you were able to find for the ones that were close to your heart. See if you can do that into the places that were difficult. Remembering this is a practice, that we're training in breaking down barriers that we put up between us and others. That we are seeing, yes, we are connected. So wish them well, wish yourself well. The love, the kindness, the compassion, it starts with you. This is the practice of metta. The main point of doing this practice is to uncover the ability to love without bias. Making the aspirations is like watering the seed of goodwill so it can begin to grow. In the course of doing this, we'll become acquainted with our barriers, numbness, inadequacies, skepticism, resentment, righteous indignation, pride, and all the others. As we continue to do this practice, we make friends with our fears, our grasping, and our aversion. Unconditional good heart towards others is not even possible unless we attend to our own demons. Everything we encounter thus becomes an opportunity for practicing loving kindness. With that, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be liberated. Namaste.